everyone. Hope you guys are doing well at home. So today's session, I would like to start by thanking and saluting to all those who are working against Corona to save our lives. Yes, let's cooperate them, let's support them by staying at home and maintaining social distance, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot for making us stay healthy at home. Yes. Yes guys. So coming back to today's sessions, I am going to discuss the very basic concept of biology. Yes, the very basic concept of biology, guys, without which we can't imagine a living organisms. Yes guys, I think you have guessed it right. We are going to discuss about the structural and fundamental unit of life, that is nothing but cell. Yes, we are going to involve in a very interesting concept, that is cell. So, before entering into it, I will give you just a simple example. Let's take the example of a building. Yes, or let's take the example of your home only. So, in your home, you have got separate rooms, you have got bedrooms, you have got living rooms, you have got kitchen, everything there is there. And when we are going to consider a particular room in your house, whether it may be a living house or bedroom, whatever it may be, what we observe in that room? We have got 4 walls around us. And what are that walls made up of? Obviously, you are going to say cement and concretes and bricks, etc., etc. Yes, but what is that smallest thing? What is that smallest unit which build up your house? Yes, it is the brick. Yes, am I right or not? So, brick is the smallest unit of your house or any building or any school, whatever it may be. The smallest unit is your brick. Yes, likewise, the living organisms, the entire body of a living organisms, beginning from your microscopic organisms to macroscopic animals or organisms, their body are just made up of a number of cells, guys. Yes, and how can I forget myself? My body from head to toe is made up of number of cells, guys. Yes, it has been said that our nerve cells in our brain has got more cells as compared to the number of stars in the Milky Way. So all the living organism on the entire universe, whether it may be microscopic, which we can't see with our naked eyes, which we can't see with our open eyes, are made up of cells. Yes, and comparing it with a huge elephant, your whale, all are made up of cells body. Yes, so one thing is clear, every living organisms are made up of your cells, guys. So here in this lessons, we are just discussing about cell only. How cell came into existence. What were the discoveries of the cells? We are going to discuss the discovery of the cells. Then the difference between unicellular and multicellular organism. Unicellular means what? When an organism's body is made up of a single cell. Such organisms are called as your unicellular organisms. Yes, and when a body is made up of number of cells, just like us, our body is made up of number of cells. Such organisms are called as your multicellular organisms, guys. So here we are going to differentiate between the unicellular and multicellular organisms. Yes, and again we will see the difference between a typical plant cell and a typical animal cells. And further, we are discussing the most important concept, that is the structure of a cell and the function of a cell, and why it is considered as the structural and functional and fundamental unit of life, guys. Yes, so the entire session will be revolving around the topic cell, guys. Yes, so all the living organisms are made up of cells. Life starts with the cell, guys. So many living organisms like amoeba. Yes, amoeba, simple. It's made up of a single cell, and that single cell has the entire responsibility to perform all the metabolic activities. Like our body has number of cells. Our stomach cell performs the digestion process. Our heart cells perform the circulation functions. The kidney cells performs the excretion functions. So there are different types of cells in our body that performs different metabolic activities. But in case of a unicellular organisms like amoeba, the entire charge is on the single cell to perform the metabolic activities. Yes, so now you may ask, from where does this term cell, C-E-L-L, came into existence? Actually, the term came from a Latin word that is called cellula. Yes, the Latin term is cellula, C-E-L-L-U-L-A. And what is the meaning of that cellula? The meaning of the cellula is small, tiny compartment-like shape. Yes, it's a very small, tiny room. Yes, and that's why we named the cell as cell. Yes. Next comes, it's a building block of our life. Obviously, guys, without which we can't estimate our life. Yes. So, that's why we regard cell as the building block of life. And hence, it's considered as the structural and fundamental unit of life, guys. So it's here, I have drawn a basic structure of the cell. It has got an outer boundary, and that boundary is called as the plasma membrane, inside which your fluid-like structure is present. That fluid-like structure is called as cytoplasm. Inside that cytoplasm, the brain of the cell is present, and that is called as your nucleus. Yes, nucleus is called as the brain of the cell. Yes, because it performs all the activities. And it has got different cell organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulums. So all these we will be discussing slow by slow. Yes, in the gradual classes we will be discussing about each and every concept, the structure of the cell, guys. So let's start with the discovery of the cell. Let's discuss about the historical background of the cell, how the cell came into existence. Yes, so first, the most important scientist was none other than Robert Hooke. Yes, Robert Hooke, and in the year 1665. Yes, he was the first scientist who came with the term cell, guys. But how? So what happened now? So he took some cork cells. Cork cells, you know. So in a bottle, some lid type structure is there, that is called as cork. And that cork is made up of the bark of the tree, guys. So he took that cork cell and observed it under a microscope. Microscope means self-made microscope. Robert Hooke itself designed that microscope, and under that microscope he observed the cork cell. So what did he observe? He observed that there are some empty spaces and it is bounded with a boundary. Again an empty spaces, it's bounded with a boundary. Again an empty spaces, it is bounded with a boundary. So when he observed that empty spaces in more details, he observed that it is just like a tiny small room or tiny small compartments. It seems as if it's a honeycomb-like structure. Yes. So what did he observe? It appears as a honeycomb-like structure. Yes, when he observed the cork cell under the self-made microscope. What was the observance then? He observed that the cells are in the form of a honeycomb-like structure. And it appears as a tiny small compartment. And hence he named it as your cell, guys. And what the best thing he did is that he published all his findings in a very famous book which is called as Micrographia. Yes, what is the name of the book? It is Micrographia, guys. So, which helped further scientists to study about the cell. Yes, so Robert Hooke, in the year 1665, first of all put forwarded the term cell according to his findings by his self-made microscope, and he published all his findings in the book called Micrographia. So guys, another scientist came again, and the name of that scientist is Leeuwenhoek. Yes, Leeuwenhoek, Leeuwenhoek. And in which year? 1674. So what did he do? He discovered some free living cells from the pond water. He took some pond water, observed it under microscope. Then what he found? He found some cells which are living, guys. First of all, the Robert Hooke. Don't forget it. It's a Robert Hooke in the year 1665. Yes. And second one comes the Leeuwenhoek in the year 1674. Yes. Next, another important scientist, Robert Brown. Don't confuse. Robert Hooke first of all finded that cell. Robert Brown discovered the nucleus of the cell. Yes. So Robert Brown in the year 1831. Yes guys, Robert Brown in the year 1831 discovered the nucleus, which is the brain of the cell, which is present inside the cell by the great scientist called Robert Brown. And in which year? 1831 guys. Yes, Robert Hooke discovered the cell and Robert Brown discovered the nucleus of the cell guys. Then comes another great scientist, Purkinje. Yes, another scientist came, Purkinje, in the year 1839. Yes guys, so another scientist, Purkinje, he coined that fluid-like structure which is present inside the cell. Here you can observe that fluid-like structure, the fluid-like structure. He called that fluid-like structure as protoplasm. Who? Purkinje. Yes, Purkinje named the fluid-like or the jelly-like substances which is present inside the cell as protoplasm. And in which year? In the year 1839 guys. So all these scientists finally got the discovery of the cell. So first of all your Robert Hooke in the year 1665. Then came your Leeuwenhoek. Then comes your Robert Brown who discovered the nucleus. And then came the Purkinje who called that fluid-like structure as the protoplasm. And from this all findings we got a cell theory. Yes. What we got? We got a cell theory. Well, what is cell theory? What does it speaks about? So cell theory, it states that all plants, all animals are made up of cells only. And cell is considered as the basic unit of life. Yes, what does cell theory speaks about? What does cell theory states? It states that all the plants, all the animals are made up of cells only. And cell is the basic unit of life because it performs all the metabolic functions of our body, guys. Yes, what does cell theory states? It states that all plants and animals are made up of cells and cells are the basic unit of the life. Basic structural and fundamental unit of life, guys. And who put forwarded this cell theory? The Scaliger in the year 1838 and Scavel in the year 1839. Yes, who put forwarded the cell theory? It's an important question. So, cell theory was put forwarded by Scaliger, Schleiden. And in the which year Scaliger put forwarded this cell theory? In the year 1838. And another scientist called Scaven, Schwann, in the year 1839. Yes, so these two scientists came forwarded with the cell theory. But another scientist named Virchow, Virchow, another scientist called Virchow added that all the cells arises from the pre-existing cells. That means all the cells comes from the older cells. Older cells in the sense, the older cells get divides. Yes, the cells get divides by the process of cell division and hence new cells came out. So what actual the cell theory is now? Cell theory is that all plants and animals are made up of cells and the cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life and these cells arises from the pre-existing cell. Yes, generally what happens now? A single cell is there. It undergoes the division process. That is called cell division, which you are going to read in higher classes, guys. Yes, cell divides by the process of mitosis and meiosis and thereby new cells comes into existence. And this process continuously takes place inside our body, guys. Yes, so generally what happens? All the cells arises from the pre-existing cells. Yes, guys, now I think you got the basic idea about the cell by seeing the structure by scientist Robert Hooke, who first of all discovered the cell. Robert Hooke. Which year? 1665. Who discovered nucleus? Robert Brown, guys. In the which year? 1831. Then who put forwarded the cell theory? Skeleton and Scaven. And all the cell arises from the pre-existing cell, guys. Yes. Now let's move on to another concept, that is cell shape and size. How the cell shape is, how the cell size is. Generally, amoeba, it has an irregular shape. Yes, it has generally got an irregular shape, guys. So here, generally what happens? All the cells are some spherical in shape, your disc in shape, rod shaped, comma shaped, your rod shaped, pear shaped, next flat shape. So cells are of different shapes. Generally it is spherical in shape, but in some organisms you can find different shapes of cells like your flat shape, rod shape, then pear shape, elongated shape, spindle shape. So different shapes of cells are present, guys. Blood cells, they are spherical in shape. Generally your smooth muscle cells, in our body muscle cells are there, na? So that muscle cells are elongated shape or spindle shaped. Blood cells are, guys, that is round in shape. Your ovum cells, egg, ovum, yes, that egg and ovums are generally spherical in shape. Your nerve cell is elongated in shape. Your fat shape is circular in shape. So different shapes are there of the cells. Yes, depending upon their structure and function. The second important thing is that cells has got different shapes. They may be either spherical shape, disc shape, rod shape, spindle shape, or spherical in shape, then your pear shape. So different shapes are there based on the structure and function of the cells. But one important thing is that some of the plants and animal cells has got fixed shape. Yes, guys, plant cells and animal cells has got the fixed shape. Yes, guys. So, like our stomach cells. Yes, the stomach cells are of a particular shape. Our heart cells are of a particular shape. Yes, guys, our brain cells are of particular shape. Yes, so there are particular fixed shape in our body. Yes, then next comes your cell size. In the top it is there, cell size. Generally now the cell size is directly proportional to the chromosome number. So what is chromosome number, guys? Yes, chromosome number means what? Size is generally directly proportional to the chromosome number. So what is chromosome number? So whenever we are going to observe a cell, inside the cell what happened? Nucleus is present. Just now I told that the nucleus is present. Inside the nucleus what happened? Na? A thread-like structure is present and that thread-like structure is called as your chromosome. The number of chromosome is directly proportional to the cell size. We will be discussing about the chromosome details in further classes. Yes, so cell size is directly proportional to the number of chromosomes. Like we human beings has got 46 chromosomes inside our body. And on that basis, it's directly proportional to the cell size. Yes, what is the main funda here? Cell size is directly proportional to the chromosome number, guys. So next, So what is the general size of the cell? The general size, the cell size varies from 0.2 micron to 20 micron. Yes, what is the cell size varies? 0.2 micron to 20 micron in size. And where one important question is there, which is the smallest cell? Yes, the smallest cell is PPLO. What is PPLO? It's your pleuropneumonia-like organism, and it has got another name, and the name is called as mycoplasm. It will be easy to remember mycoplasm. The smallest cell is mycoplasm and its size is 0.1 micron. Yes, so which is the smallest cell? It's mycoplasm. And what is its size? 0.1 micron, guys. Yes, so 0.1 micron, it is PPLO or mycoplasm, which is the smallest cell. Then which one is the largest cell? Yes, it's the ostrich cell. Yes, ostrich cell is the largest cell, which is about 6 inches in diameter when we are going to count it with the cell only. Yes, it's 6 inches in diameter with cell and 3 inches in diameter without cell. Yes, guys. So the largest cell is your ostrich cell, which is 6 inches with cell and 3 inches without your cell. And the smallest one is mycoplasm, which is 0.1 millimicron in size, guys. Yes, and longest cell, which is the longest cell now? The longest cell is our nerve cell. Yes, the longest cell is your nerve cell, which is about 90 centimeter or more than that also. Yes, the longest cell is your nerve cell, which is 90 centimeter or more. Yes, the smallest is your mycoplasm, the largest cell is your ostrich cell, and the longest one is your nerve cell, which is more than 90 centimeter in size, guys. And generally one important thing is that generally smaller cells, yes, smaller cells are metabolically more active because all the pressure is there in that single unicellular cell, na? So that's why they are metabolically more active rather than your multicellular organism, because our body has got number of cells to perform different activities. Yes, there is a division of labor in case of multicellular organism. But in case of unicellular organism whose body is made up of single cell, all the pressure is there in the single cell to go excretion, respiration, digestion, every metabolic processes, guys. Yes, then one important thing is that viruses cell, yes, virus cell, which is not considered as a cell. Why it is not considered as a cell means they are subcellular in structure. Remember, this is an important thing. Virus is never included in the cell. Its body is never included in the cell because it is subcellular in structure. What virus has got? Subcellular in structure. What is subcellular in structure means? Underdeveloped cell. Yes, virus has got underdeveloped cells. Hence, we are not going to consider the virus. And again, virus follows the obligate parasites. It's a obligate parasite. What is obligate parasite? Think and tell me in the comment section below. Yes, what are obligate parasites? Yes, obligate parasites means what happened? Virus, when it gets a host, yes, a virus when it gets a support, or a virus when gets its a support to perform the metabolic activities, it becomes living. Yes, it becomes living. But if the virus don't get any kind of support, any kind of host, then it behaves as a non-living. Yes, that's a very important thing. Viruses are interlinked between the living and the non-living. When it gets the host, it behaves as a living. But when there is no host at all, it becomes non-living. So that's why its cell is underdeveloped and we are not including here. Yes, that's an important concept, guys. And some of the examples I have written over here. unicellular algae, that is Acetabularia, and its size is about 10 centimeter. Spiral shaped cells are present, and where it is present? It is present in spirulina. Yes, spiral shaped cells are present in spirulina. Comma shaped cells are present in Vibrio bacteria. Yes, comma shape present in Vibrio bacteria, and pear shaped cells are present in Chlamydomonas, guys. Yes. So, unicellular algae has Acetabularia, which is 10 centimeter. Spirulina has got spiral shaped cells. Pear shaped is Chlamydomonas. Hope you guys have learned a lot now about cell. You just refer once your book. Yes, learn the video very well. Revise it at home. Stay happy, stay healthy. We will meet soon in another video about cell. Thank you.